All right, MC Big Boys Java Games continues with Tic Tac Toe. We're going to add some color. So we want to make our X and O's different colors so they're a little easier to see on the screen. And then we also are going to make our computer so that it can block our moves so our game is just not totally easy to manipulate. So let's go add some color. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new method. Like you already figured that out, right? Because we're putting everything in methods. And so what we want to do is um, we're going to call this add color. And so this is going to be a public, and we're going to return a string. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to add color, and you're going to pass it in a string. And so what we want to pass in is the square. Okay, we're just going to call it square. Don't be square when I was growing up. You got to be round, can't be square. And so let's do a test to see if the square holds is it a number or is it X and O's? So let's say if square. Well, let's do character, and then we're going to test is it a digit. And so we're going to do square, and so we're going to do character at 0. So we're going to see, because there's only one character big, but we need to convert it into a character to test. If it's a number, then we're not going to change the color of the number. We're just going to return the square. That's all we're going to do. Now, if it is anything other than that, then we're going to actually build up a string with colors and pass it back. So now what we need to do is let's have a string, and I'm just going to call it build color. Don't ask me why I come up with these names, but I do. So anyway, so let's do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to test to see if this is an X or an O, and depending on if it's X or O, depending on what color we're going to give it. And so we're going to say if square is equal to, and we're going to NOR case, and then we're going to put X. So if it's equal to an X, then what we want to do is we want to build up, we want to put a color here. So now how are we going to get a color, you're asking? Well, you know what? If we come down here, I think it's in my Scratch files. And if I come down here, I've already done this a bunch. And so I was building something else one time, and I come up with all these ASCII colors. And so we're just going to use the yellow. So we're going to come down here and just going to grab that string for yellow. And we will copy that. And then we'll go back to our gameplay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to say that's what it's going to be equal to. And then we're going to come down here, and you know, we could do it else if, you know what we don't need to do that. We're just going to do it this way. So now we're going to test our square, and if it's equal to a 0 or an O, and you know, I just thought of something. I could just do an else. In fact, if it's not X, it has to be O. Let's do that because I've already tested for numbers, so we don't have to worry about it being a number, because if it's a number, we're going to return. So we can do an else here now that I think about it. And now we're going to take this and we're going to make this blue or something. So we'll go to our colors over here and we will get, I think I did blue before. Let's do purple. We're just going to grab something different. Unless I could have just grabbed the ending of it as well. So now that we have that, so now what we're going to do is, so now we have which color it's going to be. We can, we're going to do plus equals. So now we've got a color, and now we're going to add the square plus we need to add the reset so that the color goes back to whatever original color we have. So we just need to add that right there to it. And so we're going to do that like that. And then we are going to return the built color up. So now that we have a color, so what this is going to do, it's going to test the square. If it's a digit, it just returns that digit back, no color. If it's an X, then it's going to put this color. If it's an O, it's going to put this color. Print out the square, plus print out that. So now that we have the add color done, so let's roll this up and let's go down to, we can roll that big one up, and let's go down to our display. So now what we're going to do is where we currently have this, we're going to, I'm just going to cut it. And then I'm going to put add color, and I'm going to put it back. So I'm going to cut each one of those. Or I could just copy the thing and change the number. It might be easier if we just come in here. In fact, you know, it would actually be even easier if I copy the whole line. So I don't have to just try to get in the border there or whatever inside the thing. So I can just copy this, come in here, paste 2. And so now we're going to come in here and do 3. You kind of get the idea. I'm pretty sure what we're doing here now. We've got this nice little method, and so we are passing it. Whoop, that should be 4. And so this is how we are building up our display for our game board here. And so we are oh, excuse me. Okay, so we're going to come down here and replace 7 and 8 and 9. And then we have, whoa, I think I grabbed too much. I did. And so let's come in here. Okay. Whoops, that has got to be 7. And so, okay, so this has got to be 8. That's not an 8. And so this has to be a 9. Okay, so we're done. So let's run. Let's play the game. Let's see how it runs now. See if we screwed anything up is the big thing. And then we'll do 1 here. And as you can see, X or O's are purple. And so let's do 5. And so, hang on a minute. It looks like I'm also purple, or is that yellow? I guess that is yellow. It's not very bright. Let's exit out of here. Let's go look at my thing. And I think I had some brighter, let's see. Do we have bright? Ooh, these are all, oh, these are other stuff. No, I didn't have any. These are under, I was trying to do some other things that never worked. Let's try, I really don't like that yellow, doesn't stand out very well. So we have purple, we could try green. I was gonna do something, let's do, I don't want to do red. Well, we could change it to red, I guess. So we can come up here, go over here, go down to, where is our add color? And so whoever is X, we're going to make it red now. All right. Wait a minute. Why does that get the same color? Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, I see what I did. Okay. So let's run it now. And so nothing should change here. So we didn't change anything there. And then I'm going to do 5. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's a lot easier to see. So that is definitely a lot easier to see. Okay, so I'm going to do 1. And then let's do 9. And so we went. All right. Now that we got some color, so our board's not kind of boring, and you can actually change up the colors or whatever you want to do. And you just have to play around what looks, you know, every monitor might be a little bit different. And when we get to the when we get off the console, then we have all kinds of possibilities. So let's look at Um, Now we're going to add some functionality to our game so that our computer can block us. Because right now we'll win every time. So how are we going to accomplish this? Now falls into fuzzy logic. And so we're going to create some test to see if, so like, let's look at this example right here. So I have an X here and here. So the computer should test for those two, and then it should return a 9 so that the computer can actually block us. So let's go make that. So we will come up here and we are going to do, this is going to return an integer of what square to actually get. And so we're going to call this block player. Okay. And so what we're going to do is, well, if you remember right, when we did our check winner game, that we had all these cases in here to check. Well, guess what? We're going to kind of do this again, but just a little bit different. So now we're going to do, again, we're going to do I is equal to 1, I is less than 9, because we know there's 8 possible ways of winning. And so, but what we're going to have to do here is we are going to, let's do a switch again. We're going to switch on I. And so we're going to set up our 8 cases again. So y'all should be familiar with setting up cases now for switch statements. You know, and the whole point, guys, of writing games is not only just to have fun with the games, but to learn basics of Java programming. And games will test your ability to write code. Because like right now, we came up with a scenario. So how would you actually write the code? And, you know, if you guys want to, as you're, you know, go see if you can figure this out before I do it. And then you can come back and test your code against my code and see if you're close. And maybe there's another way to do it besides the way I'm doing it. I don't know. So let's look at the very first column, or row. So if we look at the row, if we go back to our game, so that's going to be, if we go back to the top where we just have numbers, so that's 1, 2, and 3. So we need to create possibilities. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if square get 1, and if that is equal to, well, so if that's equal to the player, because if player is X, it'll be X. If it's O, it'll be O. And then we're going to say if that, and we're going to say if get 2 is equal to player. Now here's where it's going to change up just a little bit, because here we don't want to test to see if it's a player, because if it was already a player would have already won, because we're already testing that. So what we want to do here is we want to say character, and we're going to do what we've been doing before, is digit, because we're looking for a number in here. So that's going to be square. What square? Well, we're doing number 3, so to be get 3, and then we need to convert that to a character, and it's going to be 0, because that's only if that is true. Then we are going to return 3, because we know that 1 and 2 has the player symbol in it, and then 3 has a number in it, so we want the computer to pick that number. So this is scenario 1 of row 1. So now we're going to do scenario 2. Now scenario 2 is going to be almost identical, but we're going to take the character at part part that we're doing right here. And we are going to, I think I have another, yeah, it should be that. So I'm going to copy that out, and I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to place it at the beginning. Okay, we'll have to fix some of this up here. And so pass you back around, and then let's fix our numbers. So what we're going to test for here is going to be number 1. Then this is going to be 2, and this is going to be 3. So now what we're saying is number 1 a digit? Is 2 and 3 the player? If that is the case, then we want to return 1. Now we have one more scenario, for row 1. And so we're going to put it here. And this time we're going to cut out this, and we're going to put the character in the middle. So we're going to say basically is 1, is 2 a character, and then S3 the letter. Okay, so I just want to line this up. I like it lined up. Okay, so if this is the case, then we're going to do 2. So we have created our 3 scenarios to block for row 1. So now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this whole thing, and we can get rid of some of these extra spaces here. We don't need those there. And we're going to go down to 2. We're going to paste this in, except now this is going to be, so row 2 is 4, 5, and 6. And then if this is true, then we're going to, whatever the character digit is the one that we are going to return. So again, these numbers are going to be 4. Oh, I hit them. Oh, got the parentheses there. So it's going to be 4, 5, and this is going to be 6. And so we're going to return 4. So this is going to be 4, 5, and 6. And I did not move these over. Don't ask me why. I don't like the weird spaces in there. And I don't know why IntelliJ doesn't leave it like I have it. But it has a mind of its own. Okay, so now we have that done. So let's do the last row. So the last row is going to be 7, 8, and 9. So we're going to return 9. All right, so again, this will be 7, 8, 9. Come on, fingers, you can do this. And then we're going to return 7 here. And then the last one here is going to be, again, 7, 8, and 9. And then we're going to return 8 here. All right, so we have all 3 rows completed now. So now let's start working on the columns. All right, so the first column is going to be 1, and then this is going to be 4, and this will be 7. So we'll return 7. Now there might be another way of doing this. I don't know. This is how I came up with it. There's always multiple solutions. So if somebody else comes up with a different solution, oh, you know, I didn't change this. So this should actually, this will be 1. Actually, I didn't have to change it. So this again is going to be, oh wait, 1, 4, 7. This is our first column. And this is going to do 4. Okay, so 4, 7, 1. Okay, that works. So let's go do the next one. So our next column is going to be 2, 5, and 8. Okay, and so we are going to return 8 here. So again, it is 2, 5. And guys, when I tried to sit down and figure out how to actually do this, I had no clue how I was going to make this work. I just started typing code in, and this is what I came up with. 2, 5, and 8. And so this is going to return 5. Okay, so let's do the last column now, which is our case 6 here. And so this is going to be 3. This will be 6. And this will be 9. And so, and we're going to return 9 here. So, oh, excuse me. So this is going to be 3. What did I say? 6 and 9. And so we're going to return 3 here. So now we're going to do again 3, 6, and 9. And then we are going to, in this case, we're going to do 6. Okay, now all we have is our 2 diagonals. So let's put our case for that. So it's going to be 1, 5, 9. 1, 5, 9. And so then we're going to return 9. Okay. So 1, didn't have to change that. 5, and then 9. And then we're going to return 1, so we don't have to change that. So 5 here, and then 9 here. And so this will return 5. Okay, so we have the last, so let's do this. We're just gonna copy this one. We don't need the break actually, but let's, and the reason I'm gonna copy this one is because it's already got our middle one done. So this is gonna be 3, and all we have to do is change this to 7. So this will be 7, and so this will be 7. And so this one here again is going to be 3. This will be 7. So we're testing the first row. So we'll do 3. And then the last one here. Oh, you know what? Hang on. Let's go up here because that should have been a 5, not a 6. And I did it again. Okay, so let's go down here. So this is going to be 3, 5. So 3, 5, 7, and so we're going to be changing 5. All right, so now we have our scenario. So now let's go use our blockage to make our pick for our computer player. So let's go down here to where we'll roll this up now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down here. Let's roll our display back up. And so we are going to computer move. So what we're going to do is, right now we're randomly getting a move. So let's come in here and let's do, number is going to be equal to block player. Okay. And so we're going to test to figure out what number to use. And so what we're going to say is we'll say if, we'll say if number is not, let's see. Well, let's say if it is equal to 0, then we'll just randomly do a number. So we'll just come in here and we'll say if it's, and we should have, did we do that while ago? Where is, sometimes you get so much code it's hard to find. There's add color, roll that puppy up, not make a breakpoint. Where is, okay, block player, we are returning 0, right? Ah, no, see, I knew we forgot to do something. So if we can't find an Xer, we're going to return 0. Okay, so in other words, we can't find something to block. So in the computer move, so if it's a 0, then we'll randomly get a number and everything else stays the same. So let's play the game now. So now we have a little more intuitiveness to it. And so it looks like computer went first. He chose 3, so we're going to do 5. And then he did, so let's do 2, and he blocked us. Let's do 1, he blocked us. So in fact, there's no way for either one of us to win at this point. Oh, wait, it says I won. How did that happen? Okay, so we've got an error somewhere, because I chose 7 and it said I won. So let's go look at our code for checking the winner, because winner chicken dinner should not have happened. So we know that that was saying I picked the 7, so that's probably 1, 4, 7 is correct. So that wasn't where the error is at. 2, 5. It should be 8 here, because this is our column. So 2, 5, 8. So I found our number where I mistyped something. So now here's the problem, guys. Now that we've created this code, we can't never win. The computer is always gonna block us. So if I choose 5, and then if I choose 4, it's gonna choose 6. If I choose 7, it's gonna choose 3. Oh, it didn't choose 3. Why did? Oh, see here. Now here's the interesting situation. We could still we are gonna win, but barely, because see right here, because the way we had this set up, there was this combination and this combination. This one was first, so he picked that. So we can do 3 here, and we win. So this is the game, guys. We could modify it a little more. In my game, I did make what I did is I randomly made it so that he only tested 3 out of the 8 cases, so you had a better chance of winning. So it looks like you can win, but it is very tricky. Well, guys, this is the end of the console Tic Tac Toe. Now, the next game we're going to do is going to be Tic Tac Toe, but it's going to be on a console. Or not on a console, but it'll be an actual window that's going to run as a graphic user interface. So instead of having 1, 2, 3 to pick, you're actually going to click on a square, and that will actually assign what you're going to do. So we will create that next. Hope y'all had fun playing with this. Hope you learned a little extra code, and good luck. Please leave me some feedback. I'd like to know if these are working, what I can do to make this better. And so this is it, guys. Good luck.